Easter 1916 by W.B. Yeats. I have met them at close of day, coming with vivid faces from counter or desk among grey 18th century houses. I have passed with a nod of the head or polite meaningless words, or have lingered a while and said polite meaningless words, and thought before I had done of a mocking tale or a jibe to please a companion around the fire at the club, being certain that they and I but lived where motley is worn, all changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. That woman's days were spent in ignorant goodwill, her nights in argument until her voice grew shrill. What voice more sweet than hers when, young and beautiful, she rode to harriers? This man had kept a school and rode our winged horse. This other, his helper and friend, was coming into his force. He might have won fame in the end, so sensitive his nature seemed, so daring and sweet his thought. This other man I had dreamed a drunken, vainglorious lout. He had done most bitter wrong to some who are near my heart. Yet I number him in the song. He too has resigned his part in the casual comedy. He too has been changed in his turn, transformed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. Hearts with one purpose alone, through summer and winter seem enchanted to a stone to trouble the living stream. The horse that comes from the road, the rider, the birds that range from cloud to tumbling cloud, minute by minute they change. A shadow of cloud on the stream changes minute by minute. A horse hoof slides on the brim, and a horse plashes within it. The long-legged moor-hens dive, and hens to moor-cocks call. Minute by minute they live, the stones in the midst of all. Too long a sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. Oh, when may it suffice? That is heaven's part, our part to murmur name upon name, as a mother names her child when sleep at last has come on limbs that had run wild. What is it but nightfall? No, not night, but death. Was it needless death after all? For England may keep faith, for all that is done and said. We know their dream, enough to know they dreamed and are dead. And what of excessive love bewildered them till they died? I write it out in a verse. Macdona and McBride, and Connolly and Pierce, now and in time to be, wherever green is worn, are changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. September 25th, 1916. In Easter week 1916, a small group of Irish volunteers occupied the General Post Office and other centres in Dublin and held out against British troops until eventually forced to surrender. 15 of the leaders were executed by firing squad, making them into national heroes. The man who kept school is Podrick Pierce. Thomas Macdona, a poet and dramatist, is Pierce's helper and friend. Even Major John McBride, who, having married Maud Gonne, the love of Yeats' life, had done most bitter wrong, is credited as having resigned his part. The woman who rode to harriers is Countess Markievicz. Connolly is James Connolly, a socialist and trade union leader who was wounded in the rising and executed while tied to a chair. He was still a teenager. He had married his love the night before in jail. The English government executed the rising leaders in 1916, which galvanised the nation of Ireland to gain the treaty and become a republic. Chachi Allah. G'day from London.